Five, four, three, two, one.
Your car could have been fueled by just water, and here's how. In 1998, Stanley Meyer invented a car that was able to run just on water. He even made videos proving that this car worked and showed the entire world. Now the problem is, when the oil industry seen this, they tried to pay him millions to stop. And when he didn't, they even threatened him. This is because all of our cars run on gas. And fueling your car would be free because water is literally everywhere. So if people started using this new car, the government would have lost billions of dollars. And this ended up putting Stanley Meyer's life in jeopardy. While Stanley was in a meeting with investors to grow his invention, he took a sip of his drink and immediately ran outside. While people were surrounding him asking what's going on, he yelled out, "They poisoned me," as he fell to the ground and passed away. And the strange part is, shortly after this happened, his water-powered car was stolen from his garage. This caused a lot of news to come out saying that his car may have been the reason he passed away. In the end, people still drive cars running on gas, and the oil industry is still making its money. Let me know in the comment section what you think happened to Stanley Myers. And follow me for more stories like this. Y'all stay conscious. Your car...
This motherfucker Keanu Reeves is a vampire. Cause ain't no motherfucking way, dog. Ain't no way. That looking like the same person. I ain't tripping. Y'all both ugly. And y'all both look alike. The same motherfucker, dog. I don't even know who dude is on the right. But you look like the dude on the left, dog. Alec Baldwin, that's you. Like a motherfucker. Clear as day. Damn, Eddie. Damn. It is what it is, dog. This explains it all. That's all I'm gonna say. This right here explains it all. Go, Michael. Look at Jay-Z. Ugly as fuck back then. Ugly as a motherfucker right now. Mr. Camel. Motherfucker kinda reaching with this one. But y'all do look alike. Motherfucker went from Harriet Potter to Harry Potter. Ain't that a bitch? See why your ass played in Twilight and the Batman. Dog. And y'all both ugly as a motherfucker too. Both Conan O'Briens. Motherfucker. Now Matthew McConaughey, you know you done fucked up, right? You know you done fucked up. That's your ass. That's you, dog. These motherfuckers be getting all that adrenochrome, trying to stay young and look young so they can live forever. You all need to die. God need to make sure y'all all get petrified. Big facts. Peace.
watch something spooky to make your spine tingle, and this for entertainment purposes only.
The legendary city of Agartha, at the center of the earth. And at the center of that, the Vrilya. Unfortunately, the place is crawling with Vril. And I'm not hugely fond of shape-shifting reptilian humanoids. This should be interesting.
Did you catch that? Do you notice how they set up the angle for their meal to resemble the Last Supper? Was it to mock it or an innocent mistake? What do you think? TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only.
Well, it certainly has been an interesting last few millennia. With this whole infiltrate the upper echelon of human society and manipulate them into destroying each other. Now, we might have just gone a little heavy on the political realm. Like what? And a little sucky, you know. Who knew that social media was gonna work? That was brilliant. Everyone too wrapped up in cat videos and sending to procreate instead of think with their brains. Very nice. Sure helped in my case during the elections. And you two crazy kids with your crusades, nothing like little Mama Theism, to throw people into centuries of battles over exactly the same ideology.
Like, how close are we to like a World War III type scenario?
One madman away. You know, I had an uncle who was a very brilliant man. He was a professor at MIT, Dr. John Trump, and he would tell me about the power of nuclear, and I sort of wouldn't believe it. And he was right. The power is so massive. It's so incredibly. Of everything, the denuclearization, and Russia would have done it, and China would have done it. I used to talk to Putin about it. He loved the idea of doing it.
Like, how?
These are the 5 best fruits that everybody should be eating. For number 1, we got blueberries. Not only does blueberries improve your brain function, but they're also full of vitamins and minerals your body needs. Next, y'all, we got avocados. Avocados are really good if you're trying to lose weight because they keep you full longer and is full of plant protein. They're also full of nutrition that's proven to help your body inside and out. Leave a like on this video if you knew this was a fruit. And for number 3, we got kiwis. Eating kiwis can help you get healthier skin, and they also hold properties that lower your blood pressure. For number 4, we got apples. If you're trying to lose weight, apples are good too because they're high in fiber. Apples are also an antioxidant, so they're proven to help with certain health problems. And in my opinion, apple juice is the best fruit juice, hands down. But let me know what yours is down below. And last but not least, strawberries. Strawberries are proven to boost your brain power, is full of nutrition, and it's also low in calories. So this is one of the safest fruits to eat a lot of. And for the best quality fruit, make sure it's organic and non-GMO. Be sure to comment your favorite fruit down below, and y'all stay conscious.
Seems more people are watching the night sky these days. The U.S. government says they're getting dozens of UFO reports each month, with thousands more expected in the near future. The office tasked with looking into them says most of the reports end up being balloons or drones, but some claims do require further investigation. They worry some of the reports could be of flying objects being used to spy on the U.S. Seems more.
It's about time that this country had somebody running it that has an idea about money. When we have $20 trillion in debt and our country's a mess. You know, it's one thing to have $20 trillion in debt and our roads are good and our bridges are good and everything's in great shape. Our airports are like from a third world country. You land at LaGuardia, you land at Kennedy, you land at LAX, you land at Newark. And you come in from Dubai and Qatar, and you see these incredible, you come in from China, you see these incredible airports, and you land, we become a third world country. So, the worst of all things has happened. We owe $20 trillion, and we're a mess. We haven't even started. And we've spent $6 trillion in the Middle East, according to a report that I just saw. Whether it's 6 or 5, but it looks like it's 6. $6 trillion. In the Middle East, we could have rebuilt our country twice. And it's really a shame. And it's politicians like Secretary Clinton that have caused this problem. Our country has tremendous problems. We're a debtor nation, we're a serious debtor nation, and we have a country that needs new roads, new tunnels, new bridges, new airports, new schools, new hospitals. And we don't have the money because it's been squandered on so many of your ideas.
They don't like human beings. In their history, in their teachings, the Andromedans say that they were taught that this universe was here for them, that they were left here and told it was theirs to rule. But when they started traveling, they ran across other races, and they were able to conquer many of those races. And how they've conquered those races was through genetic altering. Now, our government, the United States government, the world government, the New World Order, whatever you want to call it, wants to implant everybody.
Do you think what he is saying sounds credible or just a bunch of lies made for entertainment? Mind you, this was filmed in the 90s, and it has been almost 30 years since this was filmed. Put your idea in the comments below if this sounds credible or not. TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only.
Extraterrestrials, they can't be bothered with that stuff. Those are toys. That's not permanent. You can always lose the hand, it can always burn out, you could always die. In extraterrestrials, they don't value gold or silver, they value genetics. So what they do is they will come in, conquer a race, and genetically alter it. And it is the genetics that they put inside these races that alters their frequency, their sound, their thoughts, everything about them. Apparently the Greys were much more human-looking at one time. They, as a race, were captured approximately 893,000 years ago. According to Mornay, the first thing they did was they slaughtered almost all of the women. The reason they do that is to control the birth process. And what they did was they started to genetically alter the women, the females of that race, so that all the children born after that were genetically altered.
Oh, you son of a bitch. Now, I wasn't going to talk about this because TikTok will probably ban me for this. But please don't. This is just my opinion and my point of view. So for the people that don't know what's going on with this Palestine-Israel thing, let me explain. And for the people that are in doubt, share this video to them. And if you think I'm wrong or you think I'm right, I want you to put in the comments so I know just where I'm at. So the parts in pink, they're saying nobody even go there. The parts in orange, they're saying reconsider going there. Oh, you son of a bitch. This is meant to be the Holy Land, right? Jerusalem and them, man. Brother, that is Palestine. It's stolen land. We are watching people have their land stolen in front of us. But I don't see nobody doing peace marches. I don't see nobody saying, oh, poor you guys. Israel hits Gaza with one of the deadliest nights of bombings so far. I mean, come on, brother. Ain't this meant to be the Holy Land? Shouldn't we be praying about this? Where's Jesus? Where's Jesus? This is what happens when you're late, Jesus. This is meant to be Jerusalem, the Jews, Israel, the Holy Land. How are these holy men dropping bombs? Just use your brain, people. I don't want to talk too much because I can't say what I want to say. But that place is called Palestine. How are the Palestinians the bad guys? How is Israel still considered as a holy place? History is false. So when you read the Bible and the Bible says, you know, Jesus came from Israel, you mean he came from Palestine? And you know, if you're a Christian, if you're a peace marcher, how are you not standing up for this? Where the Christians at? Oh, I know where you guys are. But anyway, people, I don't want to talk too much. I shouldn't have done this video. But Israel is not a real place. The place is called Palestine. And the way they're bombing up this place, and you guys ain't saying nothing, it just shows who's the sheep and who are the leaders. Oh, you.
My advice to all of us, please, those who are here and watching us, if you are still clinging on to the past, if you are still holding on to the past, if you are still saying, I did this and I did this and I did that, and I can't go over it, I can't overcome it, I can't leave it behind me, it's haunting me, wake up. It's the enemy. It's the enemy trying to make you lose hope. He is trying to make it pitch black so you don't have that drive, that eagerness to go forward. Whatever you've done in the past, it is the past. Put it behind you and say, Lord, I am getting up in your name. In your holy name, I'm getting up. And whatever the enemy is making fun of me, but in Jesus' mighty name, I will never be put to shame. I will never. So whatever has happened in the past, it's past. Get up and walk forward. Look in front of you, because the Lord is awaiting you on Calvary. We need to reach our final destiny, the cross, because this is the only way to heaven. Golgotha, Christ crucified. This is the only way to heaven. I need to reach Golgotha. Don't look back. Yes, I was once upon a time in the pig's field. Yes, I did all the wrong things in my life. Yes, I lied, I swore, I hurt, I damaged, I stole, I killed, I did bad things. It is the past. Now I'm getting up, because there is one who died and rose from the dead for me. His name is Jesus Christ of Nazareth. He is my good shepherd. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. I'm getting up. Satan will always come and put all the ugly past right before your eyes. And then he'll say, look at you, shame on you, shame on you. Look what kind of a person you are, how low you are. Do you think Jesus gives one penny about you? Jesus doesn't care about someone filthy as you are. You say to him, say to Satan, filthy I am, but the blood of the Lamb of God has made me whiter than snow, brighter than the sun. So Satan, if you've got a problem next time, take it up with the Lord Jesus, who is my Lord and Savior. Don't talk to me. He's my QC. He's my barrister. So you want to go to court? I'm bringing Jesus as my barrister. And let me see who's going to win the case. Amen.
What was that, Taylor?
We make music for a purpose.
It is music that by even the act of listening to it, you are participating in a satanic ritual.
Okay, Swifties, we all know by now that Zena LaVey, you know, the Satanists, but you heard what they were talking about. They said by even listening to the music, you partake in a satanic ritual. You ever heard of a rap sigil? Listen.
It's a thing where they, 1, murder somebody, 2, record the murder, 3, chop the audio up and sample it, and return to the murder scene and rap where they murder somebody at. They put it on a mixtape, and that creates a sigil. They sell the mixtape, people listen to it, and boom, the sigil is charged, and they make a lot of profit from it.
Is this what Lil Uzi Vert was talking about at his concert?
Obviously, all y'all is going to hell, right with me. So, you heard the song a million times, and you didn't even know. That's up, but I still love.
It's crazy, because now them lyrics are starting to make sense. I don't really care if you cry. I just know you should have never lied. She said she's not afraid to die. Just a stretch. Now, one of the most well-known examples of this is from this song, Bad Things by Cults. In the background of this song is actually the infamous last speech of Jim Jones. You know, the cult leader who poisoned his entire cult. At certain points of the song, you can actually hear screams from the children in the cult. Scroll if you don't want to hear it. Now, J. Cole went on to sample this song and use it. Now, he claims that he had no knowledge of this, but it's too late now. Who knows the amount of songs that we've listened to, not knowing the true meaning? What was that, Tate?
Watch the whole video if you really want to understand maritime law.
You know, your body is a corporation. By law, your body, your physical body is a corporation. So when you die, you're a corpse, because when you're living, you're a corporation. You are a business. And hanging out with that person is bad business. Right. Or who I hang out with is none of your business. Words and terms are based on maritime admiralty, the law of water. That's why when you go into a court, you have a gate, the people sit out here, and the judge sits inside. The gate is called a floodgate. When you go through the canal, you have a floodgate. So when you're sitting out here, you're in the law of the land. The judge has no control or no jurisdiction over the people sitting out here. No jurisdiction whatsoever. But the gate. That's outside the gate. That's on land. But when you walk past that gate, now you're in hot water, and someone's going to have to bail you out. The law of water, maritime admiralty, it's an extraordinary story about how governments rule the world. And unless you understand this, you're never going to figure out what's going on. When you walk into a courtroom and they call your name, you get up and you put your hand on the gate, and you open the gate. The moment you put your hand on the gate, by international law, you of your own volition have opened yourself up to maritime admiralty law, because you were on the law of the land. As long as you don't touch that gate and go through it, you haven't opened the floodgate. Now once you open the floodgate, there's a piece of wood on top of that gate, and it's called the bar, and you're not licensed to pass the bar. So what you've done is you've opened the floodgate, but you weren't licensed to pass the bar. You're considered to be a dead man. That's why the attorney has to speak for you. He has to represent
why
you.
Why are you dead? Because
you went into the deep water and you died. You drowned. You were not licensed to pass the bar. And the bar represents a sandbar in the ocean. But the bar is what the attorneys are licensed to pass, but you're not. So the point being is that when you open that gate of your own volition, you are considered by law to be a dead man.
Really?
That's why you cannot talk to the judge, because dead people don't talk to judges. So you need an attorney who is your mouthpiece. He speaks for you because you're dead.
Well, should we do away with courts so people can get their lives back?
I would think that what you want to do is understand how the system works.
And avoid it.
And avoid it if you can.
The truth is hidden in plain sight.
There's a lot to digest.
They hide everything. If you are
know
looking
what I
for
think
the
about
knowledge
this small
that has
example
been hidden from us,
of
that
maritime law in the
explains how
comments,
actually
like and follow from
powerful you
Wisdom
are.
State.
If you want to know what you are and
more.
where you
This ought to scare the hell out of everybody. I've been trying to fucking tell you. Listen to this.
We're here today because HHS Secretary Becerra has failed to follow the Constitution and the law. There's been a complete breakdown of accountability at the agency that has lost the trust of the American people, especially during COVID-19. 14 NIH officials, including Dr. Fauci, held unlawful positions and exercised authority that they didn't have, which included approving $26 billion in grants. This is unprecedented, and it calls into question the validity of every decision that these officials have made since December 2021 to June 2023, including Dr. Fauci's awarding a new grant to EcoHealth Alliance, which is But what is even more egregious has been Health and Human Services cover-up. For more than a year, the administration has misled our committee throughout this investigation, and our question has been a pretty simple one. Can you show us the documents that Secretary Becerra followed the Constitution and the law in reappointing these 14 senior officials who exercised immense power and authority? The question, can you show us the documents? And we're still waiting. There needs to be accountability. No one is above the law. Americans need to know that their tax dollars are being spent responsibly, effectively, and lawfully. And that the people making these decisions are lawfully authorized to make them. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to the chairman of the Oversight and Investigations Subcommittee.
Are y'all listening?
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I adopt all the things that Chairwoman Rogers just said. But let me say this. This is very frustrating. It is typical of the Biden administration not to follow the rules, not to pay attention to the law. This law was put in as a good governance section. The reappointment of these agency heads was put in as a good government section of 21st Century Cures. And the idea was, let's take a look at various bureaucrats and make sure that if they're being reappointed, and not reappointed as a matter of course, and not reappointed by somebody below the secretary, but reappointed by the secretary. And he didn't do it. And we didn't see any evidence of it, so we wrote a letter 16 months ago and said, hey, what's going on? These people don't appear to have been reappointed. And they've basically played a shell game since then until a couple of weeks ago, saying, oh, yeah, it's all right, everything's okay, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain, it's all fine. And then suddenly, eventually they must have gotten around to realizing they were in violation of the law, and so they tried to do it retroactively. But everything, as the chairwoman said, from the end of December of 2021 until about 2 weeks ago, is now called into question. Every programmatic decision, every policy decision,
Everything.
and every grant award has question marks around it now, and I suspect the American taxpayers are going to pay millions of dollars defending lawsuits from various groups and various organizations that think they were either done wrong or they didn't like the policies that came out during that
Crazy.
time period, because now it's clear that the administration and Secretary Becerra did not follow the clear meaning, the clear wording of the law. And unfortunately, this administration continues to do that, and it needs to stop. And that's part of why we have Oversight and Investigation Subcommittee, so we can find out what's going wrong and try to get it fixed and try to make sure this doesn't happen again. And that's why getting the word out so that the administration knows this is not the way to run the shop. And we got to get it right. And I will now introduce my colleague who's been working on this with me. Brett Guthrie is chair of the Health Subcommittee. Thank you so much for all your work.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for your work and the chair's work and the committee's work. But for more than a year, Dr. Fauci, a highly paid public employee at the time, served unlawfully and without proper appointment. It was during this period he awarded a new grant to EcoHealth Alliance and serves as the chief medical advisor to President Biden's COVID-19 response team. In this role as top COVID advisor, he used his position to recommend mandates. It is unfair to the American people that while he held this position unlawfully, he used his platform to be the voice of science and shame those who, with alternative point of views, in addition to push for questionable public health guidance policies. This is a complete breakdown of accountability at an agency that has lost the American people's trust, especially during the
100%.
COVID-19 pandemic. This also calls into question every decision each one of these 14 individuals made during
Everyone.
the time. Greater accountability is needed. Thank you.
And just before we move to the Q&A, I wanted to address HHS's latest statement on their failure to follow the law, because they've changed their story many times, and their latest defense is also not true. So they are referencing an entirely different process, what is called Title 42 Special Consultants. And this is different than what we are talking about as far as the requirement for the reappointment or the appointment of IC directors. IC directors require the Secretary's approval, and HHS should know the difference, and they can't hide behind this claim. But it's after a year-long investigation that we've not seen the evidence that the administration we've not seen evidence that other administrations, so they're claiming right now that other administrations have failed to follow this reappointment process. We do not see that evidence. They are conflating. There's two issues. There's there's the Title 42 special consultants, and then there is the process of appointing or reappointing the IC directors. And we wouldn't be here today if the administration had come clean in March of 2022, recognizing that they needed to get right with the law.
This ought to scare the hell out of everybody.
Where should you keep your gun at if you have a kid in the house?
Okay, let's go back. How old is your child when you teach your child firearm safety? Okay, let's just say you keep your gun in the safe, right? You can send a little lock box right next to the bed.
This one's good.
Middle of the night, boom, you hear somebody kicking your door in, they're hauling ass to your room, ready to spray you up. How long is it gonna take you to get that gun in the safe? I can leave my gun on the counter if my child already knows firearm safety. Now, go back to my question. How old should a child be before we teach them firearm safety? Garbage.
I just want to say that he has a point. I believe in order to end all this corruption within ourselves, we have to start by educating our children the proper way. Meaning, teaching kids about life situations. Helping them teach us right from wrong. And not to be too prideful in admitting when you're wrong. Let's continue.
How old were you when your parents taught you not to stick your finger in the light socket, touch the stove, play with knives? You couldn't even talk. Barely could walk. Perfect example. Some stuff you just didn't play with, right? Mommy and daddy taught you look left, look right, look left before you walk across the street. Did you play with traffic? Some shit you just not gonna do. We can't be afraid to expose our children to the bad things in life. We have to do that because guess what? You don't know what you don't know. Children are inquisitive. They want to learn these things.
Where should you keep?
You've been shot in your groin. If the femoral artery is hit, you can lose 1 liter of blood in a minute. That's enough to kill you. And look, a tourniquet can only go up to the top of the leg. It can't reach the groin. So in this situation, we need to pack the wound with gauze. First, immediately put pressure on the bleeding, then cut away any clothing, then soak up any blood. Next, put your finger into the wound and hold hard pressure on the source of the bleeding. Then while holding pressure, pack it with gauze, push it in and keep pushing in more gauze till you can't pack it anymore. Then hold hard pressure for 3 minutes, then wrap it tight with a bandage. Last step, make sure you splint the leg. Otherwise, if you move, it might undo all your hard work and start bleeding again. Best material to use is gauze that has clotting powder built into it already. But it's okay if you don't have that, you can take a t-shirt and tear it in half and use that to pack the wound. Remember, arms and legs, tourniquet. Shoulders, groin, back, pack with gauze. Shot to the chest, cover with plastic so it doesn't suck in air. In the abdomen, just direct pressure. Neck, also direct pressure. Head, you're dead. Okay, it's a dangerous world out there, so follow me if you want to live.
Question everything. Everything that you thought you knew about life. Question every little thing so your awareness rises. But remember, don't be too prideful when you are wrong.
Why do you need our planet?
Ours.
So does anyone believe in portals and in the possibility of traveling to different worlds or even different dimensions through portals? So did this man really travel to a different point on Earth, or a different planet, or even a different dimension? What do you believe?
Light can't really get through. You're not going to feel anything, you're not going to smell anything until the surface is literally moved. This portal becomes self-sustaining for life beyond. Are you going to go through it? Taking samples of this water. It's unbelievable. It's so warm. It's almost like it's just untainted. You can't see it because the clouds are covering it, but there are two suns right off there. One, and there's a lesser sun like right there. I think it's still Earth. It's just
Earth in a different time, maybe. There it is. Two suns. Crazy. Beautiful.
This is now becoming a true mystery. We even have people that are vanishing on police body cameras now. I don't know what to think about the strange phenomenon. Before we watch the video, this for entertainment purposes only. Okay, attention.
Hey, how's it going?
I was speeding, wasn't I?
Yeah, you completely blew past that stop sign in front of me.
I did. I'm so sorry. I literally didn't even see it.
All right. No
this
worries.
is my first time being pulled over.
All right. Can I see your driver's license registration, please?
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
Here's my license, but this is my mom's car, so.
Where are you headed to where you're speeding and missing stop signs?
I was just headed to a friend's house. It's like literally right there. It's
Okay.
a birthday party. So,
Got it.
Not mine, but.
Any drugs or alcohol in the vehicle?
No, of course not.
All right. Sit tight, Sarah. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Your registration is What the?
Sarah?
Did y'all just see that
What
shit?
the heck? Sarah?
Where the fuck is Sarah?
3201 to dispatch. I have a.
So now people are coming up missing, vanishing into thin air. Some people are now calling it the rapture. Some people are calling it a hoax. I mean, honestly, I really can't put my finger on what's really going on. One thing I do know is something ain't adding up. Let me know what y'all think about Sarah and all these other people that are now just coming up missing out of nowhere. In the comments, like and follow for more wisdom and stay tuned.
Have you ever known? One do I want? Have you ever?
For some reason, I keep thinking about Atlantis. Don't watch this video if you're not open-minded. A lot of people are saying we are in Atlantis, and this is the old world.
The civilization of Atlantis existed for thousands of years, and it was the entire world. It was not just an island out there.
Which makes sense because there are pyramids that are all over the world that align with the same star system. Giza, Mexico, China. I'm a strong believer that there are portals around this planet, and they knew how to use them to build these pyramids. That's why so many around the world. I'm pretty sure y'all saw this video.
When nobody goes through it, did you know that you could walk through the Grand Canyon, and if you keep walking through the Grand Canyon, your ass will end up in Africa, nigga?
There are Egyptian relics, hieroglyphics, artifacts, mummies in America because they were here. You ever wonder why it was so important for them to suppress this information for a century? Pyramids in Antarctica, Illinois. There are places in America that is restricted. The Hoover Dam, and we know the Grand Canyon and plenty of more spaces. The largest pyramid to ever be built is in America. The Atlanteans understood the energy of this planet and they knew how to manipulate it. Notice that there are weird levels of energy, like the Bermuda Triangle that makes things disappear. I told you they restrict off these high-level energetic places. I find it funny that one of the Egyptian gods has the head of an animal that's native to America. The Ibis. Rashad Jamal also goes to say that the 33rd parallel was the capital of Atlantis, which is in Atlanta, Georgia.
It's called Atlanta. And it's on the 33rd parallel, which is one of the most powerful veins on the planet because this was the capital of our realm, Atlantis. Our capital stretched, nigga. It was all of Georgia, all of Florida.
Can't stretch this enough, do your own research. I feel, though, that America is the old world. Now watch this. It is said that Atlantis went down in a flood. In America, it shows water erosion. In the Grand
No one can rival him. At the same time, it's the world's best sniper rifle in terms of overall performance. This is its internal structure. Soldiers can load bullets easily by simply pushing and pulling the bolt handle into the chamber, but there are 3 crucial components inside the bolt. This is for the soldiers. The key to quick assembly. The external extractor hook securely holds the bullet, while the internal ejector has a spring, continuously providing thrust to the bullet. When the bullet is chambered, the extractor hook opens and catches the bullet. Meanwhile, the ejector spring is compressed. Then, the bolt handle is turned downward. The 3 protrusions on the bolt cleverly lock into place, stabilizing the bullet in the chamber. At this point, the preparations for firing are complete. Soldiers only need to pull the trigger, to fire the bullet, because the bullet contains several explosive compounds. The impact instantly ignites the primer. After firing, soldiers pull back the bolt handle. At this point, the extractor hook's function is to capture the spent cartridge, and it is ejected under the pull of the bolt. The blank bullet is then ejected, making space for the next bullet to be chambered. The person who invented the...
Fucking great. Look who decided to show up and cook us some food. The Saudis. But I will say one thing from the start of this video. Besides the fact that he's barehanding the living shit out of this potato, his entire work environment looks spick and span. That stainless steel is shiny. I can see the potato rotating in the reflection. I wish we could get that audio from Sausage Party. Oh, potato! He's put the potato on the stick. He sliced it perfectly with whatever that machine is. And now he's going to stretch it out like your girl does with that shaft. Starting slowly from the tip. I don't know if she peels it back like that, but anyway, starting slowly from the tip, yank that bitch all the way down to the bottom. One great, good-ass, satisfying yank. And if you've got OCD, that potato's gonna cure it. Now it's time to dip it down into this beautiful-ass looking sauce. No idea what it is, no idea what the ingredients are. But how about you shut the fuck up and start getting this thing together? He's covering every inch of the potato. No dirt, not a single fly, 0 poo-poo. I would already eat the living fuck out of this. And I know you watching this would too. Unless you've got some weird-ass potato allergy. I know Saudi was getting down like this. And look how thorough he is. That attention to detail, not missing a single spot. We're going to go back and do it again to make sure. Drip it off so we don't have any excess getting our workstation dirty. How long did you train to become this master? And why is that oil so fucking clean? It's so clean it looks like water and I could drink it. That oil's so clean there's no wonder you look at other people doing this type of a job and call them infidels. What do? Change it out after every time you fry one of these bad boys? Do you just have a truck full of oil awaiting you? I know oil's a big deal over there, but I thought it was crude oil. You telling me that there's some princes over there that are fucking with cooking oil too? He's waiting for that perfect golden crisp. This shit looks like me in a hot tub. I'm so white I get sunburnt in the hot tub. Not even from the rays of the sun. Yeah, dude, give it a nice scrape. Let me hear that crisp. Look at that color. And I'm talking about the potato, not his hand. Your hand is at a good middle ground, right where it's at. Any darker, and you're going to have to move to Detroit. And right now, for the people that I've written up and you're on a self-improvement plan, you've got a coaching, being Cambodia and India, please take notes on this. This is a very simple food done in a very clean way. And everyone loves this. Your customers are going to thank you for it. Alright, can we get this shit out the fucking oil? How long does it sit in there? These are some thin-ass potatoes that shouldn't take this long, huh? Tag me some more videos and keep me updated what's going on with Saudi, because if I see some more food like this, I might have to start making some videos on that. Also, what would you call this over there? I'm just going to call it sliced potato on stick, but I'm sure you guys got a really cool name for it. Those like special potato stick tongs, they don't look very grippy, and they look super thin, but I guess that's good for what you're picking up. How much do you charge for one of these over there? What kind of flavors are there other than this one? Can you get them in multiple flavors? Can I get them in different spices? Do they come with a cane sauce? I wouldn't disrespect you and put it in ketchup. Ketchup shouldn't go on much of anything. Kind of looks like a coil for electricity. Would this be a good conductor for electricity? I mean, it is a potato. If I didn't have money, would you trade and barter with me? Like you trade me one of these and I give you a sheep? As long as you promise not to abuse it? If you get a big line of people, can you make like 5 of these at once? I see you hide your little thing of potatoes down there in the red crate. You didn't think I was going to see those, did you? You fucking little bastard. Oh, and we're going to salt it down? God damn, you really did think of everything, didn't you? Let's not put too much of it on there, though. You know, salt's kind of a thing where you don't need too much. I mean, you're fucking assaulting this thing, no pun intended. And don't get them thumbs up on the bottom of that potato. You've done a good job so far, don't fuck it up. I trust and I believe in you. Let's put that icing from the toaster strudels on top of this. Does it dry on there, or is that going to fall off real easy? Because I don't want you to hand me a fucking mess. If you're being honest, it looks a little jizzy. You got to work on that presentation, but I'm sure it tastes great. At the end of the day, Saudi, that's a W. Fuck.
All right, got a little sleeping platform to keep me out of the mud, and it's a little bit softer than the ground. The wood bends a little bit. Got this just in case it starts to snow really bad tonight. I can throw my blanket over the top and use it like a tarp. Well, I think my beans are about done, and I've worked up quite an appetite, so I think it's time to make some dinner. Now, I know this is a survival video, but I have a very important rule I live by. I don't mind being cold, I don't mind sleeping on the ground, and I don't mind being hungry. But I only do one of those things at a time. So tonight, I'm eating like a king. Time to cut up some firewood. My blanket got a little wet from the snowstorm, so I'm just drying it out. Also kind of makes a nice little windbreak in my back. All right, let's test the beans. Nice and soft. Add a little pepper, add a little salt, add some ground mustard, some brown sugar, and tomato paste. Beans are almost done, so I'm going to go ahead and make some bread. I have this dough I made up last night. Take and wrap this bit of cheese, a little bit of bread dough with that Gouda inside. Cooking bread on the coals is really easy. Either you make a disc and you lay it straight on the coals and flip it, or you make a ball and you bury it in the coals. A little bit of campfire ash that gets stuck to the bread tastes just like flour. Coming along nicely. All right, we're gonna put that right on the coals. All right, got a little sleeping platform to keep me out of the mud, and it's a little bit softer than the ground. The wood bends a little bit. Got this just in case it starts to snow really bad tonight. I can throw my blanket over the top and use it like a tarp. Well, I think my beans are about done, and I've worked up quite an appetite, so I think it's time to make some dinner. Now, I know this is a survival video, but I have a very important rule I live by. I don't mind being cold, I don't mind sleeping on the ground, and
I've never seen such an impressive man before. He skillfully put down many cement slabs to create a walkway in the water channel. He also crafted a platform on either side of the pathway, right on the water. At the same time, he constructed a brick wall that sliced through the canal. It was only at the end that I truly grasped the meaning of a master among common folk. The wall was meticulously built using bricks in a staggered pattern. Its height had to match the canal's water level. The groove left in the middle was the project's vital feature. After all the bricks were in place, he sealed the wall with cement. This was to ensure it would stand strong for years to come. The man understood that even a great wall could be undermined by the smallest flaw. So, he worked with exceptional care and precision. He covered one side, then the other, until both sides were perfectly smooth. Above the groove, he positioned 2 bricks with channels. Below them, he started working on a crucial element of the project. First, on one side of the wall, he set 2 cement boards along the groove. Then he used bricks to build triangular strictures on these cement boards. By now, you might have guessed what he was creating. After finishing the brickwork, he sealed it with cement to unite it with the cement boards. And so he fashioned a long spillway. While waiting for the cement to solidify, he began work on a critical component. This component would determine the project's success. First, he marked a circle on the ground and divided it into 8 equal segments. He used one of these segments as a template to shape a piece of wood. Then, he used that template to cut 8 identical pieces of sheet metal. He arranged these 8 pieces according to the lines he had drawn, to form a complete circular shape. He then welded them together at their connecting points. After welding, he drilled a hole in the center and inserted a piece of metal. He secured it by welding 4 square tubes in a cross shape. Once the welding was complete, he covered the top with another circular piece of metal. By now, you might have a clue about what he was crafting. To ensure its structural integrity, he welded a circular metal bar around the outer edge. Then, he inserted a sealed metal pipe into the center of the circle. He used 4 square tubes to vertically cross-connect the metal pipe. After the welding was complete, he covered the top with another circular piece of metal. With this, he had completed the turbine blade for a water wheel. Now, he needed to assemble it with the support structure. By now, you probably know what he was making. Yes, it was a small hydroelectric power station. He intended to use this power station to generate electricity for the village. It was a significant project for the village, and he approached it with great care. As a result, he was meticulous in his work. Soon, the turbine and support were securely connected, and they spun smoothly during testing. The turbine was placed on the water platform with the blades in the spillway. Everything was in place for the water storage test to evaluate the power generation. When the gate was opened, rushing water flowed into the spillway, turning the turbine. The turbine's rotation drove a generator using a belt. The electricity generated not only lit up light bulbs but also powered a fan. The villagers cheered as they saw the power station working smoothly. The bricks he had placed earlier were part of an automatic gate mechanism. With everything ready, they could now store water for power generation. When the gate was opened, you could see the rushing water filling the spillway, propelling the turbine. The turbine's rotation drove the generator via a belt. The electricity generated not only lit up the light bulbs but also operated a fan. The villagers were overjoyed to see the power station operating successfully. I've never seen such an impressive man.
Is anybody else starting to feel like we jumped into a different timeline? Because things are not adding up. Like, has anybody else noticed the days are starting to go by way faster than they used to? And Picasso was alive at the same time as Charles Darwin and the rapper Eminem. Even our organs are changing places in our body. Like our hearts used to be on the left side of our body. Everybody knows this. In cartoons, you would get hit or shot in the heart, you would die. But now all of a sudden our hearts are located in the center of our chests? Not in my timeline. And I remember distinctly there was a Robert emoji. Like a Robert. Where did it go? Oh, and you remember the song with Michael Jackson? Smooth Criminal? Well, the lyrics in my timeline went, you've been struck by a smooth criminal. Now it goes, you've been hit by a smooth criminal. When did he say hit twice? And Pikachu used to have black on his tail. I'm not making this up. Pikachu used to have black on his tail, and I'm a huge Pokemon fan. Chick-fil-A never had a K. Never. It used to be C-H-I-C, and then the rest of it. It never used to have a K. And I know you guys remember this one. Snow White, it used to be mirror, mirror on the wall. Now all of a sudden it's magic mirror on the wall.
Magic mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest one of all?
When was it magic mirror? What's something else different you guys noticed in this new timeline? And make sure to like this video if you want a part 2.
Alpha Draconans are here now. There are 1,833 of them that have been living underground between 100 and 200 miles beneath the surface. They've been here, some of them have been here a long, long time. They have lifespans that are thousands of years. They're carnivorous. They are not friendly to mankind, at least the ones that are here. Are you saying carnivorous, they eat humans? Yes. And they won't eat a dead human. It has to be alive at the time of the killing. Their preference is children.
If this is truly the case, it would explain where a good portion of the missing children go and how so many children vanish each year without a cause.
You know, and we've been told, people say, well, you better not talk about the reptilians. Well, you know, bull. Why not? According to the Andromedans, they're responsible for 31,712 children disappearing in the last 25 years from the United States. And I'm supposed to just shut up and not say anything about it because people don't want to hear it? That's tough. You know, Westchester County, in the last 5 years, 3,000 children in Westchester County, New York, have vanished without a trace. Where are they going? Why are we allowing this to happen? Why should people stay in denial about it? Now, how are they able to do it? How are they able to come up out of this from underground? Tunneling systems everywhere. They're being helped by the Greys, and also there are groups within the higher echelon that are actually helping them acquire this. So human beings are abducting the kids and giving them to the Greys, who in turn give them to the Alpha Draconans? That's right. That's part of the deal. They won't come up as long as we feed them down there.
Shows to prove that we are just sheep. We are a race of sheep, like cattle to humans. They are doing the same thing to us. The irony behind that. And so we learn how to come together and share information and look out for one another instead of trying to be better than the other person. Nothing will change. Things will stay the same. But in God we trust, and we can only keep hoping. How much money do you think was wasted on that artillery? I feel bad for the people that have to work long hours, low pay, just so we can manufacture weaponry.
Y'all remember when we said the earth is coming alive and something along them lines? Stop and watch the video. Look at this. Yeah. The planet is coming alive. It looked like it's inhaling and exhaling. Do y'all see this? Y'all can't tell me our planet ain't alive. I ain't gonna cap, that dog scared the fuck out of me. But y'all can't tell me our planet ain't alive. We're definitely going into an age where we're gonna start seeing a lot more strange things. The planet frequency is rising. The planet is coming alive. We keep saying it. Let me know what y'all think about this peculiar video in the comments. Like and follow for more wisdom and stay tuned.
I believe that is just a chain reaction of the Mother Earth being stressed by all these bombs being dropped around the world. And if it keeps continuing being this way, the world will turn on us. And I don't blame her. Because just as much as we're killing her, when all she's trying to do is help us survive, and we turn around and lay bombs on her. Crazy. That's humanity for you. That's what happens when you don't properly educate children to be better, to chase their dreams, so we can work together to be better than the person we were yesterday.
See that? Project Bluebeam. That's what you're seeing. Take everything with a grain of salt. They have crisis actors. The media always fucking lying to us. Remember when Trump kept saying, fake news, it's fake news. He wasn't bullshitting. that should be fake as a motherfucker. I've seen crisis actors from one crisis that happened in America, and then it was another crisis, they on that one. They in a crowd talking like they witnessed some shit. Yo, gotta be careful. But that was Project Bluebeam right there. So all these videos of these alien spaceships that we keep on seeing now, you ever wonder why they always in America, majority of them? Think about that. And why all out the blue, they showing up all over the place, everywhere. And they admitting, yeah, we got aliens. We got aliens. We got unidentified flying objects, but y'all kept calling us fucking crazy for years. Every time we said we saw alien or got abducted or believed the aliens existed. See, now, y'all got the Project Bluebeam shit tweaked all the way to the point where y'all got it figured out and y'all can really use the shit real well now. Then y'all got the HAARP. And y'all got the DEWs. So when we see these spaceships and a beam come out that motherfucker from the DEW, y'all using both of the technologies together, we gonna think it's really an alien invasion. They got us. Stay awake. Peace.
Hey y'all, check this conspiracy out on people living forever in Hollywood. I'm gonna play 2 clips for y'all. Here's one.
When you do sell your soul, you are allowed to live forever. And these people that are called youngins, rookies, new booties, like I was, had no idea that these people still live.
James Woods? But I don't understand it. I thought you were dead.
Well, I'm not.
I don't believe you. I don't get it. Last time we saw you, Diane Simmons had just stabbed you in the back with a knife. Yeah, how the hell did you come back to life?
Well, gentlemen, sometimes being a big Hollywood star has its advantages.
Hey, is this guy somebody?
Yeah, that's James Woods. We got a celebrity here. I repeat, this is not a normal dead person. This is a celebrity.
Being a famous movie star entitled me to top-notch medical care not available to the rest of society. My body was immediately taken to a Hollywood hospital, where I was hooked up to a 17-year-old ingenue. And in accordance with Hollywood law, her life force was infused into me, bringing me back from the dead.
Hey y'all, check this conspiracy out on people living forever.
The map of our world is about to change. And I'm not talking about China breaching boundaries. I'm talking about the continent of Africa splitting into 2.
In the heart of Africa, a dramatic transformation is taking place, altering the face of our planet. Less than 20 years ago, the Earth began to fracture, tearing through territories and even dividing a man's home in 2. Africa is slowly tearing apart, hinting at the birth of new lands and seas. But what mysterious forces are causing this massive shift? How will this reshape the future of not just Africa, but the entire world? As all this occurs, can humanity do anything at all? Dive deep with us into this captivating phenomenon, uncovering secrets most remain unaware of. 3 burning questions will be addressed. What's truly driving Africa's split? How will this tectonic dance reshape global geopolitics? And could other continents be next? Let's find out. In 2005, captivating images surfaced, unveiling a breathtaking spectacle in East Africa. A continental rift. Picture this, a massive stretch of land, seemingly unyielding and permanent, slowly tearing apart. But how? And why? Our planet has a secret. It's alive in a way that's both mystifying and majestic. Continents aren't just lifeless, static land masses. They're dynamic and constantly moving. Once upon a time, hundreds of millions of years ago, Earth was a quiet, unified land, a supercontinent called Pangaea. Imagine all the lands we know today were snuggled up together, surrounded by a vast ocean named Panthalassa. But then, something incredible happened. The Earth's crust, affected by the intense heat from below, began to tear apart, rearranging itself into the beautiful patchwork of continents and oceans we recognize today. And this dance isn't over. Our continents, seated on around 15 to 20 massive tectonic plates, are continuously moving. It's a slow, mesmerizing waltz directed by the intense heat of Earth's core. This is called plate motion, or tectonic shift. Today, as we witness the rift in East Africa, we're essentially getting front-row seats to the next chapter of Earth's grand continental performance. According to NASA's Earth Observatory, the Somalian plate in East Africa is slowly drifting away from its big brother, the Nubian plate. Some people like to call them the Somali plate and the African plate, respectively. Intriguingly, both these plates aren't just distancing themselves from each other, but they're also moving away from the Arabian plate up north. Imagine three close friends gradually drifting apart. These friends meet at a place called the Afar region in Ethiopia, where they form a fascinating Y-shaped rift. The Geological Society of London labels this rift between the Somalian and Nubian plates as the East African Rift. Picture this, a stunning stretch of valleys, almost 2,175 miles long, extending from the Red Sea all the way down to Mozambique. The process of Africa splitting into two continents is largely driven by the rifting of the East African Rift System, EARS. This tectonic boundary stretches from the Afar Triple Junction in the northeast down to Mozambique in the south. As tectonic forces pull the African plate apart, magma rises to create a new crust, pushing the continents further apart. With the continuation of this process over millions of years, the split will eventually become significant enough to allow ocean waters to flood in, leading to the formation of a new ocean and splitting the African continent. Potential polar shifts, or geomagnetic reversals, occur when the Earth's magnetic poles switch places. While these events have occurred multiple times in Earth's history, their direct contribution to tectonic processes is not yet clear. However, it's hypothesized that polar shifts could have indirect effects on the planet's lithosphere. As Earth's magnetic field weakens during a polar shift, it could influence mantle convection, possibly affecting tectonic plate movements. If such an event caused an increase in tectonic activity in the EARS, it might accelerate the rifting process. However, more research is needed to understand the relationship between geomagnetic reversals and plate tectonics. Supervolcanoes, on the other hand, can have more direct and observable effects on continental structures. The formation of a supervolcano requires a significant upwelling of magma from the mantle, creating a large magma chamber near the Earth's surface. The immense pressure from this magma can cause the crust to bulge and fracture, potentially influencing nearby tectonic boundaries. If a supervolcano were to form near the East African Rift, the immense volume of magma and subsequent eruption could expedite the rifting process by introducing more molten material and altering regional tectonic stresses. This, in turn, could quicken the separation of the continents.
The map of our world is about to change,